This week on Home by Novogratz. In this week's episode, Bob and Courtney are hired by a young Billyburger couple who have an 870 square foot 2-bedroom apartment and $14,000 in cash burning a hole through their pocket. The hipster husband explains that the apartment needs an identity because why would people give their own personality to their house? And the wife explains that they need additional storage in the kitchen and new light fixtures. And as far as the fixtures are concerned, she likes a little bit of gaudy. Not Antonio gaudy, like bling gaudy. And the Novogratz leave the meeting with the design concept, industrial cozy, whatever that means. Viewing the apartment, the Novogratz decide that they want to make a nice feature out of the exposed brick wall. Bob is really pushing the idea of putting custom artwork on the ceilings because he saw pictures of a French hotel in a magazine. Courtney explains that she's the practical one and that Bob is the risk taker, but she likes this because he pushes her out of her comfort zone. With a design concept in their heads and a to-do list in their hands, the Novogratz set off to shopping while the workmen get to work. Tip number 1 is that when you shop at mom and pop stores, always ask for a discount. They suggest you start with 20% off the marked price and then work the negotiations from there. While shopping, they decide to divide and conquer. Courtney goes shopping for furniture and Bob is in charge of paint and wallpaper. Tip number 2 is to use chalkboard paint because it goes on like paint, but then you're provided with a chalkable surface that you can change anytime you want. They decide to use a bold graphic wallpaper on one wall behind the bed. And tip number 3 is that since wallpaper is expensive, you can only wallpaper one wall instead of an entire room, and that not only saves you money, but it creates a nice feature wall. They have a nice chaise in their surplus that they decide would be perfect for the apartment, and Courtney sets to reupholstering it. Tip number 4 is to ask for remnant fabric. It's the leftovers from big jobs, and the fabric companies will sell it to you for less. They hire a local artist to come in and create some chalk murals on the chalkboard paint. Tip number 5 is that the ceiling over the bed is a great place to hang art, because you get a view of it when you lay down. They create some custom artwork on one wall by stenciling a phrase that means something special to the couple. Tip number 6 is to use stencils for an inexpensive and custom art piece. They hang a whole series of mixed and match one-of-a-kind mirrors along the brick wall. Tip number 7 is to mix up new objects with thrift store objects because they are one of a kind and you won't end up with the same IKEA furniture all of your friends and family have in their apartments as well. The Novogratz tell us that they like to give each of their clients one gift for their new home. In this case, they decide to give the young couple a vintage wine rack from Germany. When they go to hang the rack, they come across a little snafu. Tip number 8 is that newer construction usually utilizes metal studs. And if you want to hang something heavy, you have to cut open the wallboard and insert wood studs for blocking. They buy some secondhand industrial shelving to extend the kitchen storage, but with a more unique look. With a few typical Novogratz touches, the apartment is ready for the big reveal. The young Billyburger couple loves it and don't hint at all how long it's going to take them before they erase the chalk artwork.